What is going on with the Astros, dude? They're 4-10 after they had just gotten swept by the Royals to cap off a 7-game road trip. What's going on with this team? And the schedule at this point, it's not going to get any easier. Like, they still have 6 more tough games after this, and it should be smooth sailing for the rest of the month, or at least that's as far as how it looks. But lately, the Astros have been playing down to the level of competition, meaning that, like, you know, if they're playing a team like the A's, they very much play like them instead of playing like how they probably would be against a top projected team like the Dodgers or Braves. But what's going on with this team? We're going to break it all down coming up next. What is happening with the Astros, dude? They got swept by the Royals today, and honestly, dude, even for just the first couple of games this season, it already seems like it's over. Now, I'm not going to jump to conclusions and say that that's the case and that we should just start trading away and start, you know, just focusing on our young guys or anything like that. But even at the beginning of the season, like I said earlier, Dana Brown had said they're focusing a lot on their young guys. And I mean, Hunter Brown is certainly one of those young guys, and he didn't even make it out of the first inning today. Like, what's happening with that? And it's just a shame to see him perform like this. But anyway, let's talk about the Astros' recent series against the Kansas City Royals, who they got swept by this afternoon. They've lost 8 of their last 9 against the Royals since last year, and I mean, it's just kind of lame. Like, I mean, for a team like the Royals, who had barely finished with less than 100 losses last season, like, I mean, what is the issue with them? Like, there's really no excuse to getting swept by this Royals team. I mean, yes, I have them making some noise this season. Yes, they're probably going to be very good they're going to be better than they were last year or even the year before that. But at the same time, like, the Astros are always going to be better than them for the foreseeable future. So, you know, they really shouldn't be losing to them by this much, let alone getting swept by them. The last 2 games of this series, the Royals put up double-digit runs, which, I mean, it's just pathetic if you ask me. The starters in this series, with the lone exception of Javier, have really struggled in this game. The bullpen certainly did their job, but again, the Astros starters, 3 of the past 4 games, they have failed to make it through 5 innings. In 2 of those games, they've hardly made it out of the first, including Hunter Brown's start today. And I'll break down more of these games in detail shortly, but well, let's start with Game 1. Game 1, this was really the game that the Astros should have had, but I mean, honestly, all night, the offense really kind of shot themselves in the foot. Javier pitched really well, but like the offense really could not capitalize on many scoring opportunities, and they had their fair share of opportunities throughout this game. Despite the fact that the Astros had out-hit the Royals 14-7, they ended up losing this game after Javier, again, he pitched very well, and they were up 3-0 heading into the 6th inning before Javier pretty much melted down and allowed the Royals to tie it thanks to an Alex Bregman error. The score would stay that way going into extra innings, or as I'm now going to call it, Manfred innings, and the Astros, even with the automatic runner, could not plate him across. I mean, they could only advance him as far as third base, but that's where he stood. And then the Royals just one batter later just took one base hit to knock in that Manfred runner, and that was that. So, breaking down what was the cause of this loss, again, it was the Astros offense. I could blame Javier for just letting down in the 6th inning to allow the Royals to tie it or, get within a run. And then I could also blame Alex Bregman's error for allowing the Royals to tie it. And for a defensive star like him, I mean, it's really not like him for him to commit an error like that. Like, it was a throwing error, like it wasn't a fielding error or anything like that. But yeah, it was a throwing error that sailed past Jose Abreu that allowed the Royals to tie the game. So, I mean, there could be 2 causes for this loss, but again, I'm squaring it on the offense. Again, they had their opportunities in this game, but they just could not capitalize. Like, it's one thing to get a hit and get on base or get into scoring position or anything like that, but it's completely another thing whether or not you're able to capitalize on those opportunities. And again, they had these opportunities. They just couldn't capitalize on them. So yeah, that was the reason why the Astros lost this game, just failing to capitalize on offense. Going into Game 2 here, this was the night of Spencer Arrighetti's MLB debut. And Arrighetti, I mean, it kind of sounds like spaghetti now that I think about it. But, I mean, he made his major league debut tonight, and it certainly could have gone better. He went through the first 2 innings scoreless. I think he only allowed 1 or 2 base runners to reach base during that time, and if any at all. But the 3rd inning is when the Royals got to him. The Royals tagged him for 7 runs, all earned, and that pretty much put the game out of reach at that point. The Astros would chip away at that lead with 2 runs to make it a 5-run game, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Going into game 3, so the series finale, it was kind of more of the same, except just like 10 times worse. Like Hunter Brown only got 2 outs today, and he gave up 9 runs. I believe all of them were earned. I might have to, because again, I didn't look at the box scores or anything like that more in detail. But yeah, he gave up 9 runs, all of them earned. And I mean, the Royals would then go on to score 4 runs off of the Astros' very exhausted and depleted bullpen. And again, the Astros do not have any off days, I believe, until next Thursday. Again, the starters really need to be doing their job and carrying the workload, because going into this weekend series against the Rangers, I mean, our bullpen's going to be very exhausted. But luckily, we're getting into the stronger end of our rotation. We've got JP France going on Friday. We've got Ronel Blanco going on Saturday, and then I haven't checked who's going to pitch on Sunday just yet. But next up for the Astros, they've got 6 home games, 3 against the Rangers on Friday through Sunday, and then 3 more games against the Atlanta Braves. I mean, that Braves series it's either going to go one way or another. The Braves currently are my favorite in the National League East right now, and they seem to be off to a pretty decent start. Again, should be a fun series, but again, the offense needs to really pick things up, because, I mean, they're just in a bit of a funk, particularly Jose Abreu. Like, I mean, my patience on Jose Abreu is kind of like, it's starting to thin out just a little bit. Like, yes, he got off to a bad start to start his season before picking it up, but now this year it's looking to be more the same. Like, this is year 2 of, I think, that 3 or 4 year contract that we signed him. I mean, if he has a bad start or 2, that's fine. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Man, I certainly wish I could just go and shoot people out right now, but I mean, these videos are not meant to, I'm not going to be doing that on these videos. I'm not going to be just, cussing at certain players, saying which players suck or anything like that, because, I want to try to keep things all positive around here. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's going to do it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Could the Astros be performing better? Like, should we be concerned about this start? This is the worst start that we've had, I think, since 2011. So, I mean, it's looking pretty bad, but, I wouldn't say that we're done yet, because it's only April and we're only 2 weeks into the season. But at the same time, we should be a bit concerned going into this weekend series. But anyway, yeah, that's going to do it, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.